it's going crazy here. So we just wrapped for the day. We're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, we are. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. That's so exciting. I missed it for just a second. My phone popped out. So let's hop into it. We don't have all the time because you've got so much press going on, but I'll start right here. Everything is bigger in Texas, and that means more fire, more aerials, and more Macabaret from the Cherry Bombs, who are headed back to the Lone Star State and making a very special stop in Houston, Texas, Wednesday, March 2nd at the White Oak Music Hall, as you guys all know. Tickets are still available at cherrybombs.co/tour. Joining me from rehearsals, like she just said, Cherry Bombs founder, director, and dancer, and everything else, beautiful and fierce, Alicia Taylor. So you just got out of rehearsals. What'd you guys work on today?
Today we ran the entire show. We have like our video aspect of our show up and working today. We have our scaffolding part of the production going. We have the lighting in today. So today was really about running the whole show with those aspects. And we haven't, also the rigging too. So we have like our rig points up here. So we've been, switching the aerial apparatuses in and out, working on the transitions. Tomorrow we'll incorporate the wardrobe and all the wardrobe changes. And I think we're going to call another rehearsal on Thursday before we leave too, just to finesse everything and fine tune everything. Because there's a lot of moving parts in the show, and we just have to get everything right, and it's all on one track, so we don't stop music and then resume music again when we're ready to go. It's all one continuous thing, so we can't screw up. There's no time for it.
Yeah, your show feels like there's so many more things to look at, for sure. So we're looking at the ceiling, we're looking at the stage, we're looking at the fire, we're looking at the tools. So much going on with that. It's so exciting. So when I look at you, I watch you dance, I see years and years of work behind every dance move that you make. How long have you been dancing, and what's a little history behind all of the moves that you do up there on stage?
Well, I've been dancing since I was 3 years old. My mom has always told me before I could really run around as a toddler, I would just turn circles in the living room. And my dad would play songs like the Eagles and Phil Collins. This was the 80s. So, and I would just have a Bert and Ernie doll, one of the two, and I would just turn circles forever and ever and ever. And my mom was like, that's it. We got to put her in dance classes. So, because that's where it all started. And then, I would just live in the dance studio all day growing up. I would take my homework to the dance studio. I would eat my dinner at the dance studio. Right after school, my parents were working, so like they hired this person to pick me up from school and take me to the dance studio after school before I could drive, and that was really my sanctuary growing up. And it just, I think all dancers can relate. It just becomes a part of you forever. And so as far as what we do today, I bring in not just myself, but I bring in other choreographers too, and sometimes I co-choreograph with other members. And it's just more fun that way to collaborate and work on things together and material and look at fresh ideas from other people. So you definitely see a mix up in styles throughout our whole entire show.
Absolutely. So you have been a Cherry Bomb since you were 3, basically.
Yes, I have been a Cherry Bomb since I was 3 years old.
You were putting on a show. You were like, you, Bert, you go over there. Ernie, you're going to be over there. We're going to come together. We're going to go like this.
Yep, that's exactly it.
That is so funny. I love that so much. So let's talk Girl Gang. I can't believe I've been cheating myself, depriving myself of this incredible documentary type show. It's called Girl Gang. It's on YouTube. It's one of the most inspiring, beautiful things I've ever seen.
Thank you.
I want to rewind. Let's rewind back to Girl Gang, season 1, episode 4. This was your quote. This is a job for us. This isn't something we want to do for fun. And you fought for 2 days to have this simple rig in that, like, you should have, you went through every hoop for it, and you danced with a broken foot. You broke your foot while you were performing, kept going. And I had such an emotional reaction to that. The amount of dedication, it completely touched me. I was tearing up for sure. And at one point in the episode, you said, I know the show was going to be great. I knew it was going to be great. I knew everything was going to go off because the girls are great. Like, they're great, so the show's going to be great. So it's going to be incredible. So let's elaborate on that a little bit. Just what Cherry Bombs means to you and how much you love it. Passion project.
Yeah, that's the great thing about this company is that everybody here is a professional. Everybody here is a master in their own right of what they do. And I never have to worry about them. So any stress that comes with performing in this company is usually always from outside sources or things beyond our control. So I know no matter what, as soon as the music hits, we're good. Once the show starts, we're fine. The show is the least stressful part of my day. It's always the production or, getting venues to trust us that we know what we're doing with the fire and with the aerial. So, and you see that in Girl Gang season 1, you see a battle there. And, when people are unfamiliar with what we do, it doesn't matter how much data you bring to them or how much education that you have. If they don't feel safe within their hearts, because we always say safe is a feeling. If somebody doesn't feel safe about something, it doesn't matter. They're not going to listen to you. And so venue by venue, city by city, Cherry Bombs, we have to kind of win hearts and minds of not just the audience members, but also the venue and the production people behind the scenes so that when we come back to those cities, they're like, oh, okay, these ladies, they know what they're doing. We can trust them. And then it's a much smoother time the second round. Even with the fire marshals, same way. I do walk through the fire marshals in every city that we perform in. And once they see us and they understand how we operate and they understand the safety measures that we take and that we actually know what we're doing, they're much more comfortable. And the next time we come around, I hit them up and be like, hey, it's Cherry Bombs again. They're like, oh, hey, girls, what's up? And then we're good. But it's just that first one, is just kind of tough winning them over.
Absolutely. And I want to know a little bit about all the different Cherry Bombs in the group. So what are their names? What do they do? We talk about men all the time in rock and metal. Let's talk about the ladies.
Well, I have 13 now. So
So you're like house mom to 13 girls now.
That's 13 now. It's crazy. We just held auditions. And I took on 5 new members, but we do a show with between 5 and 7. So the ones that you're going to see on this tour, there's Krista from Oakland. She's my aerialist, my pole artist. She also does fire. She's more of my specialty skills. She's beautiful up in the air. And then I have Avery and Allison and Amanda and Kim. And they are my dancers out of Las Vegas. And they also do some specialty acts too. So everybody's kind of multi-talented. As soon as people come into Cherry Bombs, the first thing I do is I start teaching them fire safety. That's the very first thing everybody has to learn in Cherry Bombs, no matter what. But you will, you guys should follow all their pages. You'll see them from the Cherry Bombs page. Follow them, look them up. They're all great. They all have amazing personalities. They're all super professional and driven. And they are the reason why the show is so awesome.
That's great. That makes me so happy. I can't wait to see them again.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to meet them.
I know, right? So I saw Cherry Bombs perform for the very first time last summer. And it was incredible just watching these beautiful, badass rock star incarnates perform to my favorite rock and metal songs. So it's definitely something we have to talk about. Like, this is for us rockers. This is for us metalheads, our favorite songs. And it's another way to express our love for that kind of music, for sure.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite songs out right now? And can you tell us a few of the songs that we'll hear on the upcoming tour?
Yeah, absolutely. Currently right now, one of my favorite songs that we perform to is Holy Roller by Spirit Box, because they're just an amazing band. I think they have come really far this past year. I know they've been a band for a while, but I feel like this year and this past in 2021, they've really just shot out into the public eye. And I really love highlighting bands that I feel like should get more recognition. So, I by no means think that like we're the end all be all of exposure for people, but there are going to be some fans of ours that haven't heard some bands. And so, Spirit Box is one that I really wanted to bring to the forefront of our show. So it's actually the very first piece that you'll see is the Spirit Box one. And I absolutely love that one. I think Courtney is insanely talented. Her vocal range is, almost incomparable. She's just super talented. So massive fan of Courtney, massive fan of Spirit Box. Another one that I absolutely love because it's the fire routine, obviously, is Du Hast by Rammstein. And up until this point, it has been absolutely criminal that we have never performed to a Rammstein song. With as much fire as we do, I sat around one day and I was like, how have we not done anything to Rammstein? How? Like, with all of this pyro and stuff, like, how is that possible? And so Du Hast is just an oldie but goodie, but when everybody hears it, they're just like, yeah. And another really fun one is Wherever I May Roam by Metallica, because I feel like that track, people really love it, and it's old school Metallica, and they just love that one, but they never expect that one. And especially with the routine that we have to it, it's very unexpected. It's using these fan veil props, and so they're very beautiful, but that song is so heavy hitting. And it's great because every time we perform to that one, I can hear the audience sing along with it. And it just makes me giggle every time.
I love that. And so you said Spirit Box right out the gate. And it's so much about like when I like go walk my dogs or whatever and listen to them, it's kind of, we love men. Y'all are our favorites. We love you so much. But it's kind of cool to like be able to listen to rock and metal and just have it not be about men for a minute. And like, I can just go off and like be with women, Spirit Box on, whatever. And I never really realized it until I listened to so much Spirit Box. It's like, oh, it's a really like a male experience. And when I go off and just go listen to Spirit Box, like kind of by myself down the road, I'm like, oh, I'm having this like beautiful ethereal experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I love men. Y'all are great. Y'all are so wonderful. You're my favorite. But it's great that like for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, it has nothing to do about you. It has nothing to do with you. And that's just kind of a cool experience as a woman. So that's one thing I kind of realized recently about Spirit Box is like how alone you get to be like and have an experience that's like really encompassing and ethereal and beautiful as a woman. So I love that. And
It is. And kind of to your point on the other end of the spectrum, and I haven't done anything to one of her songs yet, but I will. I think that's going to be next on my list. It's OTEP. I love OTEP. I love her voice. She's just a badass. I mean, those first few albums of her are just brutal. And so I think she's going to be in my next show that I'm writing in my head.
Awesome. Yeah, she's my treadmill girl. Like I run so fast to her for years.
Yeah. I mean, my God, War Pigs and she's just Confrontation, just all those songs are just amazing. She's just sick.
Yeah. And even when she's whispering and talking slowly.
Ooh, yeah.
It's still just as good. It's still like she can in her own like little
poet
way.
And her play on words. She's so great with words. It's just So shout out to you, OTEP. Love you, girl.
Ah, love that. So this time around we get more Macabaret. It is a story of karma wrapped in temptation, action, and danger around every corner, is what I read somewhere. Agree or disagree? Yes, no,
that's
for,
it.
against?
Yeah, I would say that's a great synopsis. Macabaret is a story about a man who finds himself lost in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere. His car breaks down. He has nowhere to go but in this saloon, right? And it's almost kind of conveniently placed, if you will. And he walks into the saloon, and the whole story is about whether or not he makes it out alive. So when I wrote this, I was kind of blending, there's some inspiration between From Dusk Till Dawn meets Dante's Inferno. If Rob Zombie and Quentin Tarantino were to direct it and put it to all metal and rock music. That's the best way I can describe it. But it is a storyline. It takes you through from the start to the end of it. So every piece has a purpose. There's intention behind everything, and including the lighting and the wardrobe and every movement and the actions that are happening on stage. So I wanted to deliver a show that didn't feel like a rock and roll dance recital. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want it to feel like piece, 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 piece. I wanted something to take the audience from the start to the very end through the entire thing, so that they couldn't look away if they wanted to, because they were going to miss something. So it is artistic. It's a little out of left field for what I've done in the past, but I'm really loving this. I'm really loving this kind of storyline vibe to these shows, because it just makes it feel more of like a production. And, we're based in Las Vegas, so it does feel like we're bringing Las Vegas to Texas. Truly.
I love it. And we could end the interview right there, but we won't. We'll keep going. But isn't that great? Bringing Vegas to Texas. Like, that's pretty spectacular.
I mean, yeah, two of the best places. I love Texas. It's great. Everything's bigger. And in Vegas, everything's just brighter. So
that's funny. Do people actually say that? Like, everything's brighter in Vegas?
No, but that was just my perception of it. I mean, we've got all the lights here all the time. Everything's bright and twinkly and over the top. Over the top.
It's bright and it's red, and we've got Alicia Taylor there with lots of beautiful hair. Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
Did you get a tattoo on the side of your head? Like, let me see. What is that? I
did. I tattooed this in my head. Oh my gosh.
My
God. Wow.
Yeah. What'd you get?
I got the moon phases. And then I have in Nordic runes, it says, "Here be dragons."
Wow.
Here be dragons.
You fiery redhead, you fiery redhead. Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. It was a big move, but I've always wanted a secret tattoo. So it's in my hairline. So if I grow it out, you won't see it again. But it's like a secret,
So how did you get the guts to go like this? How did you get the guts to do that?
Shave it?
Yeah, like, how did you get the guts to, like, shave that side of your head?
Oh, well, I talked about getting a tattoo there forever, and my stylist was like, "Look, you're not gonna." Originally I wanted to shave a mohawk, so I wanted to shave like both sides all the way down. And my stylist was like, "You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna have the balls to do it until you make that tattoo appointment. So you just need to make the tattoo appointment now, and then you can't back out. So then we're gonna have to shave your head." And that's exactly what I did. And I was like, "Oh my God, my mom." The first thing I thought of was like, "Is my mom gonna be mad?" And then, you get over it.
Yeah. There you go. Well, I'm so proud of you. You're so brave. You're braver than I
don't know, girl. It's just hair. It grows back.
Oh, there you go. Well, no. I cry at every trim appointment. If they take like more than an inch, I just start crying and bawling. So, yeah. So, braveness factor. I don't know about that.
I think you could pull it off.
I don't know. Well, there's actually there's been so many rock stars who have been like, "Oh my God, if you got a chest piece, that would be incredible." They're like, "Oh, you need to get like a big chest piece right up here." And I'm like, "Thanks for the input. I'll put it into consideration and just be scared of it the rest of my life. But Alicia will do it and it'll be great. I like that so much. Awesome."
Yeah. I mean, tattoos are funny too, right? They're so addicting. You get one and you want a million of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, but I've been kind of tossing around the idea. Do I want another sleeve? Do I want to leave it plain? Because there's times where I like to dress in a way where you don't see any of my tattoos. So I kind of like to mix and match and play around with it. But I don't know. They're just so wonderful and beautiful. I just running out of real estate, so I wanted to do my other arm now.
So what are you getting next?
I'm thinking about a hip thigh piece, like a big one.
Cool.
Thinking about it. I don't know. I'm not decided yet. I got to cover up my tramp stamp. Here's my thing too with tattoos. And you know, people in the chat, you can tell me if I'm completely full of shit, but I feel like it's a rite of passage that you have to have a shitty tattoo. Like, I just feel like everybody with a lot of tattoos, you need at least one shitty tattoo. I'm sure everybody in this chat who's tattooed, y'all have a shitty tattoo, don't you? Because I have one. Corey, my husband, he has a couple.
Doesn't he have a tramp stamp too?
He does not have a tramp stamp.
Okay.
I mean, he has back pieces.
Okay.
That, you know, are questionable in quality, but my tramp stamp, you know, from 2003. Okay, let me date myself here. Is shitty, absolutely.
and it is.
Okay, so I went to college in Hawaii, and when I was 18, I moved there, and so I was like, I'm gonna get a tattoo, and I got a gecko. So I have a gecko above my ass crack, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, not even thinking. Oh, who's your car insurance? Boo.
I know. I was making jokes right now. I was like,
and it's so bad. It's so bad. It's just, it looks. She needs to be covered up or lasered off or something. But, you know, at the same time, again, it's a rite of passage. It's my shitty tattoo.
Good for you. Like, good for you cutting me off before, you know, you made fun of yourself before I could do it. Good for you. You made the joke before I did. Good for you.
Yep. Good old Hawaiian gecko.
There you go. Okay, well, I guess Shiprock just has to have you back next year so we can check in on that hip thigh piece. You know, everyone's in the boat, you know. So I guess Shiprock just has to have you back next
year. I hope so. Shiprock was a blast, man. Have you ever been?
No, we've talked about it, but you and I have talked about why I haven't gone yet. But
oh yeah,
we did. But I think I am gonna go next year. So I think I'm gonna get in on it and work it.
Cool.
More of these, and more hosting, and more talking to Alicia. That's how I want to do it.
Come on, man. Shiprock was a blast, and that was kind of a milestone for me. When I first started Cherry Bombs, Shiprock was a big goal of mine. So when we got to do it this past year, or just, you know, last month, it was just such an honor, and we were so grateful to be on that boat, and it was so much fun. We just had a blast. Everybody there just wants to have a good time, no drama. You know, it's a boat, it's a big boat, so you can do so many things. You know, there's activities going all throughout the day, concerts going all night. And then you land in these great destinations and you could do really cool things on shore. So we went and saw the Mayan pyramids in Costa Maya, and it was very, very, very cool.
I love that. That's so fun. So next year. Yeah.
Next year. Yeah. Next year, I think it's 6 days, and it goes to Turks and Caicos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to go on that one.
Okay. There you go. I like that. Because I always have to, like, choose concerts or vacations. And I always just choose concerts. So I've never been to Turks and Caicos before. So,
well, then on Shiprock, you got a concert and vacation together.
There you go. I'm dancing already. I'm in a good mood. I'm excited for it. I wanted to bring up one other Girl Gang moment.
Sure.
If you can't tell that I am pushing people to go watch Girl Gang. Just the look on your face when you found out that you were opening up for Rob Zombie on Knotfest.
Uh-huh.
The entire thing just like made me want to cry, and it was just like the most inspiring thing. So just like following your dreams and following your passion, and oh my god, see, I did tear up a little bit. Yep. It was just so incredible. So what are some of the moments, I guess, that you appreciate the most? Of things you have done so far and things you're looking forward to so far?
That moment was massive. As you saw, like that look on my genuine. I feel floored.
Ridiculous, by the way. I did tear up, and I feel
no, I did. Yeah, no, I did too. I absolutely did. When we found out we were going to be direct support for Rob Zombie at Force Fest down in Mexico City, Rob Zombie is one of my favorite artists of all time. I just really love him. I love everything he does. He can do no wrong in my eyes. And that meant so much to me. And it was so massive as far as opportunities go for me. That, yeah, I was absolutely floored. We never got to do it. It never happened because if you guys watch Girl Game season 2, you'll find out about the big riot that started during the first day that Slipknot was supposed to perform. And yeah, that didn't really work out. So I never got that chance. But if we ever got that chance again, you would get the same exact reaction out of me. So that was one. Another time where that feeling kind of came out of me again, honestly, was the first time we performed since the pandemic hit. So our first show back after having to stop for 18 months or whatever it was emotional. It just filled my soul and my heart with so much gratitude and happiness that, I'm getting emotional again just thinking about it, and I'm sure concert goers feel the same way, right? Like we all love this, like this live entertainment, this music, these bands mean so much to us, and to have it all just taken away. And for us, it was like our livelihood and the thing that makes our soul sing. And this is why we do this for our careers. And to have that all taken away with no end in sight, we didn't know when it was going to come back. We didn't know how it was going to come back. And then that first show, when we made it happen, we jumped through all these hoops to make it happen. We covered all these, all this ground to make it a success. It was like, oh my God, did we just do it? Did we figure this out? Have we figured out how to bring live entertainment back to rock and roll? And just seeing that applause in the audience and seeing their faces, they were crying in the audience, and then we were all crying. And it was like, I am never taking this for granted ever again. Not this job, not this life, not this show, not every step I take on that stage. I'm going to love it for everything that it is, as long as I can do it.
Absolutely. And I've noticed I'm having like a weird rebound effect when I go to shows. Like I've seen some of my favorite bands recently, and I may have done an interview with them or something like that, but I get to the show, it's the best show I've ever seen in my entire life, and then it's over. And then I'm sad. And then it happened all so quick. And then I'm just looking around, and I'm like, well, now what do I do? Wait a year? I don't know. So I'm really excited that you have a bunch of dates and a bunch of cities so people can go to multiple dates if they want to. They're all very close. New Mexico, Texas states. I appreciate that. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Well, thank our agent because he's the one who routed it. No, we love Texas. We love Texas so much. It's one of my favorite states ever, just in general, because everybody there is so rad. Everybody there is so genuine and kind and fun. And, nobody does it like Texas, really. So I'm just stoked to come back. I'm thankful to come back to Dallas, to San Antonio, to Houston at the White Oak Music Hall. And I'm just so excited for this. I think it's going to be a really fun time. And you're right. It's like this rush of serotonin in our brains. And then when the show ends, it's like being 5 years old again. You have to leave your friend's house after having a blast, right? Your parents are like, it's time to go home. And you're like, no. Yeah, it does. It will feel like that. But you know what? We'll come right back.
There you go. Shoulder to shoulder, they're coming right back. I love it. So coming off of seeing you live and watching the show and just being so excited about this show, I think you are one of the most inspiring and strong women when it comes to creating your own thing, following your own dreams. So I thought a good question to ask would be, what is most important to you when it comes to the integrity of how things are done and what your standards are for the Cherry Bombs, since it is your own baby?
Thank you for those kind words, first and foremost. But
it couldn't be truer about anyone else, though.
No.
It couldn't be true about anyone.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. Whenever I do something, I always do it 110%. I go full out. And I don't think there's a point in doing anything unless you do it that way. So I'm really involved in every aspect of everything that I do. So with my brand, I know everything with our merchandise. I know everything going on with each one of my performers. I know how the production runs. I know how shows are booked. I know how the marketing is happening. I'm just very hands-on with every bit of my business because you're right, it is my baby. I'm responsible for it. And if anything fails, I feel like it's my fault. I feel like I, came up short, and I don't ever want to fail my team. I want to put them in a position where they can succeed, because if they succeed, then I succeed. And it's a group effort, really, but it's my responsibility to make sure that everybody's taken care of, that everybody's treated well, and that everything I do it balls to the wall to the full extent. I can't half-ass anything. I've just never been that way. Whether it's putting a show together or putting a production together like this, or, putting Girl Gang together. Obviously I'm there when we film Macabaret. I was directing it. Um, to our merchandise, I design it. And I pack my merchandise and I send it off to everybody. So it's an obsession, I think, where I just love what I do so much. And I want people to feel that integrity and that authenticity in it.
I love that. And you do everything, and we feel that, and we know that. So thank you. Yeah.
I need an assistant. So if anybody out there wants to be my assistant, let me know. Hit your girl up. She needs one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I was just like, when you were saying all of that, I was just like playing all of your Instagram posts in my mind of you packing your own merch, of you doing, the dancing and the tryouts and the every step of the way. That's why it's so fun to follow you on social media. You get to watch all of it.
I'm a maniac. I don't know how my husband puts up with me. I'm a freaking maniac.
You're insane. You're so insane. So I want to talk about it. We have to talk about it. It's such a hot topic. So I thought this is funny. The Super Bowl show. What did you think about it?
Oh my God.
Playing devil's advocate here.
Sure.
Top of the polls of what metal Super Bowl halftime show would you want to see is Slipknot, of course.
Of course.
They win every poll I've seen, especially like Rockfeed, that poll. Oh, landslide. Oh, such a landslide. So,
yeah.
Super Bowl halftime show, Slipknot and Cherry Bombs. Throwing it out there.
Oh, man. Corey and I, my husband and I, we watched the halftime show. We didn't watch it live during the game because we were traveling that day, but we came home and we watched it on YouTube. And I got emotional. I was tearing up because, my generation, what are we? We're the gen, what's our generation? We're the, I'm sorry, I'm the geriatric millennial.
Oh,
that's the phrase.
Yeah,
I'm the geriatric millennial.
Yeah.
Okay, so 85. Hey.
88.
So my generation, that was us. Like that was our music, the Dre, the Eminem, the Snoop Dogg, the Mary J. Blige. So when I saw that, I just loved it. I knew every song. I was like, this is awesome. And Corey turns to me and he goes, man, that will never, I will never get that opportunity. And I was like, babe, I'm pretty sure that we have said that about Eminem and Snoop and Dre before. And look, like they're doing the Super Bowl halftime. So never say never, because, that times have changed. And I think, and that's a good thing, because I think that we're more accepting of different kinds of music. When they brought out like fucking Coldplay, we were all like, this is lame. Or Maroon 5. And we were like, we need something with a little more edge. We need something a little more exciting. So that to me was the perfect halftime show. Now, Slipknot as halftime show. Duh, of course. It would be amazing. I don't know if they would be able to break out Disaster Pieces, or Disaster Piece, but I think, they could do some of their more, radio-ish pieces, right? Like Wait and Bleed, of that, in that regard. I mean, they could do that, but maybe not like Scissors or like, the really brutal stuff. Or prosthetics, that would be kind of intense maybe for a lot of people at the Super Bowl. But I think Slipknot could do it. I think Metallica could do it. I think they should do it. and I think we're due.
Yeah.
Duality. Yeah, of course. Like, think of like the Guitar Hero songs, you know?
Yeah, everyone, like, think about people know Slipknot songs. They all do. Everyone knows a Slipknot song. Like, the biggest ones, like, they could absolutely make a halftime show out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that, like, that kind of makes me sad that he was like, I'll never have that opportunity. Yes, you will.
I know.
Yes.
But hey, maybe, I don't know who we need to, do we need to write to like Roger Goodell? Who do we have to write a strong worded letter to?
Oh, all of us.
Get all
like,
the metal Karens
bloggers
out to write a letter and
Yeah.
petition for Slipknot to do the halftime show.
I don't know. Us, like, metal blogger people, we're already working on it. And the way that we can. We're already working on doing the best we can for that.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm no dancer, but I definitely want to go to a clinic. So there is a Cherry Bombs clinic. The really great funny story, and we have about 5 minutes left. I just checked the clock. Funny story real quick. I met my best friends, like, I had really no friends after I moved until I tried out for cheerleader in high school. I didn't make it. I froze. But what I got from that experience, I froze in tryouts, but this girl during tryouts came over and was like, you're doing a really good job. I like you a lot. And that's how we met. And those are still my best friends today, like 15 years later. So I didn't make the team, but I got my best friends out of it. And when we were doing like Dance Dance Revolution together, like to Michael Jackson, like several years later, like mid-20s, I'll never forget my friend Chelsea came over. Like, they were going in one team, then I was going, and they were like, and she was trying to compliment me, and she was like, you try real hard. Good for you. So that's how good of a dancer I am. She's like, you try real hard. But I want to go to a clinic. So tell us about the clinic.
Of course. I mean, it takes balls to audition for something. Hey, OTEP. Hey, girl. She's up in here. Her ears must have been burning.
Right?
We're giving you lots of love, OTEP. Lots of love. Yeah, the dance workshops are going to be 2 hours long. I'm going to be teaching, and it's going to be no pressure. So if you have 2 left feet, you can come on down and take from me. I'll work with you. If you're an experienced dancer and you love a challenge, you can come on down. I can work with that. It's going to be fun. It's just going to be a good time. We're going to warm up. I'm going to do some exercises across the floor for like confidence and just building that and feeling yourself. And then I'm going to teach you choreography from our show. And I'll be able to scale it up or down depending on your level for everybody in the room. It's going to be super chill. And it's just going to be a jam, you know, in a dance studio. So I won't be doing one in Houston, but I am going to be doing one in San Antonio, I believe on March 3rd, down there at Countdown Studio 210. So if Houston has an interest in it, I can look at coming down there and teaching one. So if we get enough people that say what they want to take, totally happy to do that. It's just a fun way for us to connect with you guys and give you something, you know, maybe new or a new experience for you guys to partake in. That's just good and positive.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have to pay a little bit of attention to OTEP who came in the room.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the intensity and how beautiful, like, even the slow talking and the words, and how beautiful it is to have a really intense experience that is, we love men so much, but just to have a woman do it and to be able to have some alone time and go off and listen to this music, how much that means to us and to me and Alicia. So I just thought we'd like kind of synopsis of what we were talking about earlier, right?
Yes, exactly. And I was saying how OTEP, how I've been listening to OTEP for years. Actually, I used to use OTEP as like a litmus test for men that I would date. So I would put her music on, and if they made a face whenever I was playing it, I knew that I wasn't interested in dating them any longer. But if they were like, okay, this is kind of cool, maybe if they like didn't listen to metal or they weren't a big metalhead, if they were open, then I was like, okay, I'll give you a shot. So I used to use Hotep's music as the litmus test as to a standard for the next round, you know, if I wanted to go on another date with a guy, which is really funny now that I'm thinking about it. but I'm kicking around some songs, and I think I want to add one of her songs to the next show that I'm drumming up in my head writing right now. So super stoked.
Can't wait for the next interview when we talk about the new show and talk about that talk.
I'm gonna have to flesh some stuff out a little bit more. But yeah, I'll share my preliminary ideas with you when I see you.
Okay, excited. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for hopping on with us. So again, people can get tickets, cherrybombs.co/tour. I memorized it. That's where people need to go.
Killer. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Everybody in Houston, I can't wait to see you guys at White Oak Music Hall, one of the best venues in town. The ceilings are super high, so we're going to be able to rig really high in there. Can't wait. And yeah, we'll see you out on the road. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Alicia. Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.